Hey YouTube, I'm Ali, welcome to the channel. So I'm back after being away for a few days at the UK's largest game expo up in Birmingham at the NEC. I went specifically for the playtesting area because I wanted to meet a whole bunch of game designers and actually experience what playtesting en masse looked like. I'd never been to the expo before. I'd heard lots of good things. I know it's been running for 16 odd years and I was quite excited. So I travelled up with my son. I'm going to introduce him in a second. I thought it would be quite a good idea just to give you a quick summary of the highlights for me of what the experience was like and what you can expect should you visit next year. So here's me and Ishi jumping in the car. It's a 2.5 hour drive for us. We actually were given press passes. Well, actually, that's not true. What we were actually given was guest passes, as it turned out. But the important point is we were given the show preview. So we could actually travel up a day before, which is what we did, to attend the preview to the show and meet a whole bunch of people. So anyway, we got there, of course, the place was packed. But as I said, we were lucky enough to get there a little bit earlier. And we got to meet a whole bunch of people who had already gone through the testing phase, got into production, and actually had their games ready for sale. Now this was interesting because it wasn't just the large names there. There were lots of there weren't just the large names there. There were lots of indie developers and people who were busy trying to promote their games either directly in some cases or through their own publishing companies. Met some fantastic people here, which I shall rattle through very quickly, but also met one of my my childhood heroes, in fact, and definitely bought his game. But I digress. That's not why we were there. We were there for the playtesting. Now, playtesting was at the back of Hall 1, so here's a quick shot of us moving to Hall 1. I'm going to take a second out here just to say hello to Ben. Ben is a subscriber to the channel who bumped into me when we were going over to the playtest area, and we took this rather nice photo together. If you haven't subscribed, folks, by the way, please do so now if you get a chance. But anyway, we went off to this area here. This is what I wanted to show you, the playtest area. Now, the playtest area was a section which had a load of tables on there. It was running all through Friday, Saturday and Sunday, and I spent most of my time here trying to play other people's games. And this was a wonderful experience to be able to meet a whole bunch of really talented folk at all stages of game development, and that was the interesting thing. Some of them were very, very near ready to be produced, and some of them literally were bits of cardboard and glue stuck together. It was fascinating. So the basic premise is that each table had a designer on there. They were given an allotted time, and then they had a little sheet at the front which explained the game name, how long it would take to, and who the designer was, of course, as well as how long it would take to explain the rules and how long it would take to actually play the game. And then you as a tester, and I say you, I mean anyone from the public, anyone who attended the show could actually turn up and ask to test one of the games. You would be given a feedback form where you would mark things out of 10 and state what you thought about the game, ideally giving feedback. In reality, what actually happened is we ended up having lots of conversations about the game during the gameplay. So in this last part of the video, I thought I'd just quickly call out some of the games that really spoke to me during the playtest, the ones I had the most fun with. And we tried a lot of different games, and a lot of them were very, very good. This video would just become too long if I call all of them out. So here are the ones that I particularly found interesting. Firstly, there's Elliot Locke and his card game Influencer. I really enjoyed this. It was very quick to pick up. The rules were very simple, but the play had a little depth, which was good. There was a lot of toing and froing, blocking, and stopping the other person from progressing, which was fun. The actual concept, I thought Elliot understood really well. We had a little chat about his background. This is his first game, and it turned out that he knew a thing or two about being an influencer himself. So I think the game played well because I think he understood the market and the theme really well. I'm definitely going to look to see if I can get Elliot onto the channel to have a little chat about his journey later on as well. Moving on, we have Leo's game. This game had me in stitches all the way through playtest. I just love the concept, I love the idea, and I love the enthusiasm enthusiasm and passion that Leo had for it. So the game was called Worst Things Happen at Sea. It was all about survival. You're on a boat. All players are on a boat, and unfortunately, every day you've got to eat and drink, and food's running out. So you're going to have to vote to basically off someone and then carve them up for food. Now, this sounds like an elimination game, but the elimination of a player actually turned them into a ghost who could then become vengeful, and then that changed the rules again for them. They then had a different agenda completely. They were no longer trying to remain alive on the boat. They were trying to ensure everyone else died. David's game was all about skyscrapers and building them. It had a very clever concept of having contracts that you would take on to try to build. The way the game worked is you had these coloured blocks. Each player has a different colour, but each block represented a different type. So you would have a gym, a casino, an office block, and you had to assemble them to complete the contract. Now, the clever novel thing about them is the way they interlocked. So there was an element of trying to understand exactly how the blocks would fit together, and then you would cap them off, as well as trying to build these contracts. The game had enough depth to keep us all engaged, I think. By the time I was playing this game, I was getting quite tired, so I don't think I played very well. I know that Ishi absolutely loved this game, though. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed my quick video on what playtesting at UKGE was actually like in 2022. I'm definitely going to be putting my name down for next year. I think playtesting in an environment like this, where you have so many different kinds of people that can turn up and test your game, is an ideal opportunity not to be missed. For what it's worth, I would absolutely advocate going again. I'm hoping to go again myself next year, and if I do, I hope to see you there. Cheers.